As long as the family life existed, this country would survive. But as soon as the family was destroyed, the fabric of the country was being destroyed, and the United States was never again be the same. I think I was a pretty good prophet over the years. It certainly is a different world we live in today than I lived in the 1930s. So I think this is my explanation of what one man's family is all about.
One Man's Family, brought to you by the makers of Fleischmann's Yeast and Royal Puddings. One Man's Family begins its 16th year in radio today by rededicating itself to the American home and to the mothers and fathers of the younger generation and to their bewildering offspring. Today we present Chapter 5, Book 62, entitled One Man's Family Celebrates its 15th Anniversary.
From 1932 to 1947. Goodness.
That's right, Mom. From Herbert Hoover to Harry Truman.
From Flapper to Bobby Soxer.
From WPA to OPA.
Yes, Cliff, I was just going to say, from the Great Depression, when there was plenty of everything and no money to buy it, to plenty of money and nothing to buy.
1932 to 47. From the period of the great American isolation through our greatest war to our present conviction that we are part of the world community. 15 full years. 15 historical years. 15 dramatic years. The end of Prohibition, the Great Depression, the rise and fall of Hitler and Mussolini, the rise and fall of gang warfare in the United States.
The rise and fall of women's skirts and their rise again.
Yes. 15 years is a good long span.
Why, just imagine it. There are young men and women walking the streets today who can't remember a time when one man's family didn't exist.
I can hardly remember myself. Yes. And through all these years, one man's family has had one central theme, one main purpose for being, the American home, the American family. The paramount thought being that so long as the American family survived, these United States would remain safe and secure. Oh, yes. Throughout the years, one man's family has meant many things to many people. There was, for instance, the wife who wrote that her husband's last deathbed request was to hear the barbers, and afterwards closed his eyes and went to sleep. And the young man who was arrested in Chicago for purse snatching, only he said he didn't do it, that he was listening to one man's family at the time. And he told the judge the story of that week so completely that he was acquitted. And the convict in the South Carolina prison, who always heard the show because the barbers were the kind of family he had always meant to have. But somehow the penitentiary got him. And then there was the father in the Middle West, who gave his children their choice of listening to one man's family on Sunday or attending church. And best of all, many an American soldier who had been brought up on the family, who became a most ardent audience away from home, not only because it gave him a taste of the home life that he was missing, but because he knew his own family at home also was listening. Yes, the show has meant many things to many people, but always, somehow, some way, it has been tied close to the home and the family and the good which they bring out in all of us.
Now I'm going to turn the show over to Paul.
Thank you. As we said in the opening today, on the beginning of our 16th year, we are rededicating one man's family to the American home and the American family. For 15 years, this has been our principal theme, as we're going to demonstrate for you in a moment. But first, may I suggest that today, more than any time in your memory or mine, the need for the home and what the home stands for is most vital. That now, if ever, there is need for the moral strength, the unswerving integrity, the basic Christian ethics and tenets, which are the stuff the American home is made of. We hope to prove to you the urgent, crying need for a revitalized family life today. And now, to go far back into the pages of one man's family. This is what we said on April the 6th, 1934. Clifford, please.
In these United States, we pride ourselves that all men are born free and equal, that there is no royal family set apart from the rest of us. I think this is a mistake. I think there's a touch of royalty in every conservative, firmly established American home. I believe the children of these homes are born to the purple. They have behind them glory and honor and dignity and tradition.
Just as surely as empires were molded by the will of kings, so this nation is molded by the will of the American family. And just as surely as empires crumbled under the touch of dissolute, degenerate monarchs, so this nation will fall away with the corruption of the American family.
Well, a bit of something to think about.
You know, I can remember Dad saying that to us way back there, just as plain as though it was yesterday. 1934. Goodness, Cliff, you and I weren't dry behind the ears yet.
You couldn't have told us that then.
How true, how true.
Goodness, we were young.
You were young. What does that make me?
Bottle baby, no doubt. Well, that's what we said in 34. And now, here is what we said in 1936. Mom, will you do the honors?
Already, Paul?
Here, Mom, put on your glasses.
Oh, goodness. Where's that coffee you gave me, Paul? Right in your hands, Mother. Of course. Now, Paul.
Yes. This is what we said in 1936.
Marriage is the gateway through which a man or woman obtains personal experience in the field of human relations. Parenthood is the opportunity for putting that experience to practical use. Parents should not say, we shall have children because it is our God-given right, but rather we shall have children because we are able to give them intelligent, physical, mental, and moral training. Mother love may be beautiful, but mother love combined with intelligent discipline is the force which turns children into normal human beings and good citizens. Misdirected and misguided offspring results in one of civilization's most appalling wastes and expensive problems. For an undisciplined, unprincipled child grows into a useless citizen, another human life wasted, another burden for civilization to bear. Good citizens are necessary to civilization, but good parents are obligatory if civilization is to continue.
Exactly.
You still agree to that, huh, Dad?
More than ever.
Oh, yes. What a waste of time and effort and pain and worry to go to all the trouble of conceiving and bringing a child into the world only to abandon him to indolence, dishonor, and disreputable habits.
And yet I think I'm going to be able to bring you proof that this is exactly what a large portion of our parents are doing.
Oh, no, Paul.
Well, don't rush me. We'll get to that presently. Just now, Claudia, you're going to read us what we said about family life in June of 1937.
What Dad said.
Huh?
See if you remember saying this 10 years ago. In this day, with gods of finance and the gods of power tumbling in a shower of unutterable chaos on every side, and with the very foundation of nations trembling on the brink, it is only natural that each of us should be looking for something firm, something staunch, something honest to which we can cling. Something that neither fire, nor flood, nor earthquake, nor avarice, nor greed, nor war, nor the rumor of war, can shake from its deep-rooted foundation. What is that something? In these United States, we have the American family. So long as the American family shall live, with its wholesomeness, with its ideals, and its basic principles of discipline and citizenship, we have little to fear. But once let the family life of America lose its own self-respect, and the fate descending on Germany and Italy will be a small catastrophe indeed, compared to the bitterness, the affliction, and the desolation which shall encompass us. Therefore, when we bring you the saga of the Barber family, we do more than tell a story. We pay tribute to the American family way of living, and we hope, in some small extent, extol its virtue and unveil its weaknesses.
You remember saying that, Dan?
Huh? I don't remember, but I'll be very happy to take the credit for it.
He said it's all right. The sort of thing he was always preaching to you children.
With excellent results, I'd say.
Yes, I guess some of it soaked in.
Yes, yes. There were times, however, when I felt as if I was pouring water on a duck's back.
Well, now we come to the year 1940.
The year before the war.
The year before we got into it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hazel, will you read us what we had to say about family life in 1940?
Yes, Paul. Mother Nature, who is an elemental old lady and interested only in fundamentals, requires of a human organism but three functions: to be born, to reproduce its kind, and to die. That is all any of us need to do to satisfy the laws of nature. But somewhere along the rugged pathway which represents the evolution of man, this superior creation of nature picked up a spark of fire, a spark burning so fierce and hot that with each advancing generation it has increased in its intensity, a spark so burning with promise, so glowing with hope, that it has driven the human race far beyond nature's elemental requirements of birth, reproduction, and death. It has made man stand straight and look toward heaven. It has made him think. It has stirred his imagination and given him glimpses of greatness and genius. It has made him consider his kind, cultivate humanity, understand the value of beauty and love and goodness. And greatest of all, it gave him the power of conceiving and creating the family home as we know it today. The greatest, the most important of all man's creations. That is, the home.
I say that's an excellent thought.
Man's greatest achievement, the home. That's okay.
I want you to notice the difference between what Hazel just read out of 1940 and what I'm going to ask Nicky to read out of 1941. There's a sort of calmness and sense of security in Hazel's words. Now listen to what Nicky reads just a year later. Please, Nicky.
Right on. Today, the American family as a unit of society is more precious, more deserving of care and cultivation, and at the same time in more danger than at any other period in our national history. For we can promise you that out of the welter of strife and disorder in which the world is now engaged is coming great change. Practically nothing will be the same. We have seen one government after another submerged. We have seen peace-loving people forced to pull the plow out of the furrow and beat it into an implement of war. Right here in these Americas, we have seen, in a few months, weakling airplane factories blossom into a gigantic major industry. Shipyards which haven't turned out a vessel in years suddenly bursting into life and energy. We've seen our men in uniform again, marching up and down. We've made Iceland an outpost, and our South American neighbors have suddenly become nearer and nearer. And in the plethora of jobs, the WPA has become one of the dodo birds of the past. And wages have gone up and prices have gone up, and everywhere there is change, change, change. The government is modified to meet these times. Our banking system is modified, and our tax laws are modified. And our institutions of learning are modifying their views. And every other institution, by reason of necessity or convenience or circumstance, is modifying its activities. Even the minds of men are thinking new thoughts, uncertain thoughts, worried thoughts, but still new thoughts. The businessman, the laboring man, the farmer, the industrialist, the politician, all are sitting in the anxious seat of change and uncertainty. And there is only one place where the American man may go for refuge, for comfort, for security. The bosom of his family, the American family. Nations may fall, institutions be dissolved, great men be brought to their knees. But so long as the American father can close the door of his home against the world, so long as the American mother can gather her children about her to love them and teach them, so long as the American child can have the granite solid foundation of the home to cling to, family love to warm the heart, and family continuity to give him a belief in and a hope for the future, all is not lost. In a word, so long as the American home exists, America itself exists. But beware, the American family is not modified with the changing of other institutions. There is the danger. It must be warmed and watched and nurtured as never before, lest it slip through our fingers and is gone.